What's up YouTube, Carboss here, back in our video where we talk about cards, money investing. Today is Marvel Mail Day, where I'm going to go through my pickups in the last 1 to 2 weeks. Alright, so these cards came in, I would say trickle in the last 1 to 2 weeks, right? So I just decided to combine all of them together and just do a video on these pickups and just kind of go through my train of thought in acquiring these cards. So what I like about these are all raw cards here. You can see that some of them are still in the original eBay authentication sleeves, and pretty excited to just share with you guys on why I'm picking up these cards. So without further ado, let's just dive straight into the cards. First one here is Scarlet Witch from 2020 XMen Metal. This is a PMG red. That's number out to 100. So XMen 2020, has its highs and lows. At one point, steel boxes were going close to creeping up to the $800 to $900 kind of range. There was a lot of demand for the XMen green, and that kind of died off quite quickly as well. Although single individual cards are still priced between the $500 to $700 kind of range, but still far cry from the average of $1,000 that we were seeing at one point in time, and I did a video on that. PMG rates number to 100. So even though these are PMGs and even though these are serial number, these are not as high in demands compared to the OG PMGs from 2013 or 2015 for that matter, right? So cards like Scarlet Witch can be easily obtained for pretty cheap. I would say like under $200 kind of range, and I do see other non-Wolverine, non-Deadpool characters going for less than $200 or even less than $100. So these are good pickups. The only downside with the XMen Metal 2020, I think a lot of people are quite aware of, is the quality issues on the edge, especially on the back. The black edges here, you get a lot of whitening, and some even get some corners. This particular Scarlet Witch, I think it looks pretty alright. Something that's worth sending for grading. Maybe can sneak in a PSA 9, but I think this PSA 8 is quite likely. But the problem with this XMen Metal 2020, if you get anything but the PSA 9, I don't think you're fetching quite high premium. So don't expect you to get those kind of premiums that you see for PMG Reds or the PMGs from 2013s and 2015s, where PSA 7, PSA 8 gets you a decent return, including your grading fees, but not so much for these 2020 metals, whereby you will get nice premiums on the PSA 9, but PSA 8's not really the case. So be very careful when you try to pick up these pieces. So not all these come in nice condition. Alright, moving up. This is again 2020 XMen Metal. This is the Wolverine, the Black E-Pack Redemption. Now I'm not very familiar with the E-Pack Redemptions. I know there was a blue, and then you got to combine some of the blues to get a black. So therefore the black is kind of like the end game in a sense, right, for this redemption. These are not serial numbered, and this is one that I got from ComC. So I don't usually like to pick up these non-serial number cards, but I know that these are pretty rare. These raw goes about between $350 to $500 each, and if you can get a nice PSA 9, they can fetch to upwards of about $1,200 to $1,500. Again, they run into the same problem as the rest of the metal cards, whereby there is some condition issues, but this one looks pretty nice here. Probably has a nice shot of getting a good strong grade, right? And it's Wolverine, so normal cases, right? You can't go wrong with one of the top Marvel characters around, with the Wolverines and the Spider-Man. So solid pick for me, and this is one of the reasons why I went into this one. Next up, Vibranium 2015 Psylocke. I have the pop one of these in the PSA 10, so I just decided to pick up one of these as well. This is also from ComC, and this is the Radiance edition that's numbered out of 50, right? So Psylocke's just one of those female characters that has a lot of interest, has a lot of fan following, so her nice cards are pretty decent pickups. Not as, of course, popular as like a Wolverine or maybe Scarlet Witch, but she does have a fan following, and her nice cards are really good investment specs, such as this Vibranium ones. So I kind of like the Radiance. It's a price sweet spot as well. For raw, it's probably about like $200 to $250. Still expensive compared to some of the other cards, but nice looking Psylocke, nice looking card. I like the Vibranium Radiance, and it's serial number out of 50. Right, next, back to PMGs. This is the 2015 Hulk PMG Red. It's numbered out of 100. Yep, 81 out of 100. So again, PMGs has its high moments, has its low moments. I guess price are kind of like yo-yo in a second, not yo-yo in a second, but yo-yo at this moment. But from my perspective is, if you can get good deals on the PMGs for good decent characters, like for example the Hulk, I'll probably just give a good look at them, right? So I wouldn't recommend to buying any single PMG that you see, or any single grade for that matter, right? So you still got to stick to the usual principles as buying good characters and buying good condition or good grades if you're going for the graded versions. For me, this one here, I believe was about $600, I guess. So right, I saw a PSA 9 that ended for $1,300, but again, with this 2013 and 2015 editions, PSA 9s are not as easy as it seems to get, so you would have to expect at least a PSA 8. PSA 8 on this one will probably let me break even at maybe about like 800 to 850. So once you factor in the grading fee and minus all the commissions and whatnot, you probably just break even. So hopefully this has just enough to get to that PSA 9, which will get some nice profits. All right, next up, TI-22. So I got a couple here, Deadpool and Spider-Man. So if you guys missed my previous TI-22 PSA review video, do go back and check out that one. So after selling that set, decided to pick up again 2 more TIs. I'm not pursuing the whole set again, so that was quite an endeavor, and I was had fortunate to actually to move the entire set to Steve Aoki. But nevertheless, these individual pieces such as the Spider-Man and the Deadpools are good pickups nevertheless. So 2013 Flair Retro inserts in good condition are always in demand, such as this Spider-Man TI. So always getting this guy upside down, right? So this is actually how it should look like. So raw copies are going for about 1,500 at the moment, the last time I've seen. There are some, I believe I see some SGC 9 that's going for about 2,500. I guess for PC it's still fair and reasonable for Spider-Man TI, right? So these are presumably the pop count is about 100 to 150 pieces of number printed overall. So these are pretty rare, even though they're not serial number, but they are nice looking cards, and these are the acetate cards, so the condition are generally pretty good. So go back and check out that TI video that I did where I talk a bit more about these TI-22s. So but just happy to pick up 2 more pieces. These will make easy flips whether or not I send to PSA. Alright, last couple of cards here I want to talk a bit about is the Marvel Quick Strike. So these are also from the 2013 Flair Retro, same set as this Marvel TIs here, and these are also acetate cards, right? So I've been asked by a couple of subscribers and viewers on what's the difference between these two, and why am I more high on the TIs as the Quick Strikes. And I did mention before that Quick Strikes has a bunch of condition issues, and these are not because of handling or what. These are printing issues, like some of them that come with print dots that's all around the spots of the card. So if you happen to have some of these some of these Quick Strike cards that's in your collection, do have a look at them, the raw cards, right? You may find some of them with these kind of spottings, and when you send it to the PSA to grade, these definitely affect the grades, right? It definitely takes away the possibility of getting a Gem 10. Maybe you're lucky if there's a couple, 1 or 2, the PSA will be a bit more lenient and give you a 9, but more often than not it's a PSA 8. And this Quick Strikes here, even their acetate cards, they are also prone to scratching. So I've seen some examples whereby there are scratch lines or print lines as well, right, on these ones. So they are more condition sensitive compared to the TI-22s, and that makes it harder to get strong grades, and the pop count for PSA 10s are extremely scarce. It was extremely scarce for TI-22s in the very beginning, but because there were not many people sending in TI-22s as compared to the Quick Strikes, right? But again, to get solid PSA 10s, it's not an easy feat, which I'm going to talk about the next character here, which is the Spider-Man. And I posted this on my Instagram where I explaining that currently the pop count for this Spider-Man is only pop count of 2 for PSA 10. One of them sold for $5,000 and the other one sold for $4,150. I believe is about a month plus ago. So they are going for about that kind of price, and the raw for this Quick Strike Spider-Man is going for about maybe about $1,000 on average, and you can see that 4x jump. It's testament to the premiums that people are paying on how hard is it to get a PSA 10, knowing that you have all these kind of condition issues like the print dots or print spots and potentially print lines as well. This one here I have is super duper clean. So I'm very excited for this particular TI. I talked about it in the TI did, but this particular quick strike, I talked about this in my Instagram post, whereby I have a good feeling that this will definitely grade well. Well, again, subjective, I can be wrong, but I definitely feel pretty high on this one. So there's my Marvel pickups for the last couple of weeks. You know, Flair Retro, 4 cards here, 2 TIs and 2 quick strikes, a couple of PMGs, Vibranium and XMen Metal Black. So still continue to buy Marvel stuff. You know, prices are up and downs a bit. You know, people are still using PMGs as the general gauge for the Marvel card prices. Of course, that's definitely not true. There are a lot of things happening. Spider-Man Metal is coming up, I believe, sometime next month. So I think everybody's going towards that. There's going to be a lot of attention on that set that's coming out. So I haven't bought any boxes. I haven't bought any packs. I'm just looking and see what are the good pickups that I can get, because definitely the singles will be in such hot demand. And of course, when you have high demands, it means prices are going to be really hot during that period. Okay, that's all I've got for today. Do like and subscribe to follow my other kind of content, Marvel, sports, and F1. And thanks for watching, guys. Till the next one, Cowboys out.